You may be surprised, but in order to find a new refrigerator like this, it took me a lot of time to understand who to talk to. I wanted to do appliances for about 2 years prior to actually being able to find my first item. So today I want to show you my shop, all the appliances I have in it, where I got them, and how you can get appliances at wholesale too, because it took a long time for me to figure that one out. So join me today as we get out of the freezer and into the fridge and look at a lot of different pieces and what it truly costs to get these, and hopefully learn something along the way. So let's go. So when it comes to buying appliances, everything you see here has been very, very time consuming to get. I didn't buy all these in a single day, and neither would you. So what ways would you actually be able to purchase all the appliances that you see here? There are 4 different ways, or 4 different kinds of loads you're going to find if you want to buy things. The first one is essentially brand new appliances, which none of these came to me in the factory carton, or maybe 1 or 2 did. You can go to different distributors or wholesalers such as Almo. I know that's a local one that we have around here, and you can buy them brand new in the case, just like if they would come from Best Buy, Lowe's, Home Depot, or any other store. You can get a lot of different brands through, again, a company like Almo, but there is a big catch to buying brand new, and that is the margins. Most margins on wholesale appliances tend to be 20 to 30%. And if you have a GE refrigerator like this that retails for say $3,000, your wholesale cost on it may only be about $2,200 at worst, or $2,000 at best, meaning there's not a huge amount of margin for you. And the cheaper the appliance, the similar percentage is going to apply, which makes it very expensive to buy a truckload or a lot of appliances at once. Other ways that you can buy them, which is what these appliances are, is if you buy scratch and dent or customer returns. Everything that you're seeing up to this point is mostly scratch and dent and customer returns. Scratch and dent means that basically they got it out at a customer's house, like this refrigerator, and there's a dent somewhere in the refrigerator that makes it not very usable for the customer, and they end up boxing it back up and sending it to a warehouse where this is then sold to me for a fraction of the retail price. Another way that you can buy appliances is going to someone that does refurbishment, which is what these units are right behind me. You can go to people that have learned the trade and will end up selling you truckloads of these appliances. A truckload of these kind of appliances runs about $8,000 to $10,000 per truckload for about 50 pieces. We bought this out of a company in Indiana, and we've made a pretty good profit on them, but they are all in fact used, so once in a while you will get a pretty bad dud and maybe you cannot catch it. The final way, though, I want to show you that involves this truckload is just behind me. So what we have here are customer return appliances, and this is the row of refrigerators we just got in 2 or 3 days ago to our shop, and we're still going through, we're still testing every single one of these just to make sure that they're okay. But why in the world would you buy these over, say, the refurbishing, the scratch and dent, or the new ones? And the answer is they're quite easy to get, and it took me a year to figure out how to get these, and that's what we're sharing today with you if you're interested in buying appliances. The entire truckload of all these units cost me about $20,000 for 50 pieces, which means I'm paying on average about $400 for everything that you see here and in my other shop. But let's go through a few of these pieces and show you exactly what happens. So let's go through some specific refrigerators here. I have a Samsung RF25C right here. How much does this cost in the stores? Well, if you go to a brand new store, if you're going to sell it, you're looking at something probably in the area of $1,800 at retail. How much did I pay for what we have exactly here? The answer is I only paid about $650 for it. And as you can see, it's in like brand new condition, manufactured in January of 24. So $600 for a refrigerator like this is a really good deal, I think. Not every fridge is going to be absolutely perfect though. Some of them will have some use to them in a customer return, but given the fact that this is the fridge I just did a video on at home, and I paid $600 for it, the fact I got this for about $265 is really good. But you don't have to take my word for it on what I've paid. I'm going to include a spreadsheet at the end of the video in the comments that will show you exactly every specific cost I paid on these between shipping, insurance, warranties, and any other possible fee, so you know exactly what you would pay for a load like this. Sometimes you get amazing pieces that you can sell immediately. Other ones need tested, and since these are refrigerators, we kind of wanted to throw them all in to test them. Now, there are some catches though with buying customer returns, like this GE here. It doesn't have handles. Everything in it is pretty nice, but the reality is that we are going to have to go buy handles for it, and that can get a little bit expensive. So there are some extra costs here, but overall, in my experience with buying these, 95% of the time, they have all the accessories with them, which makes it a good deal. So all these are testing right now. Everything seems to be mostly fine on these, but if we have any issues, the margins on them are really good. And if you're wondering about the quality of refrigerators, we've gotten some that are so new, so nice that I've done reviews on them, such as the Samsung Bespoke that we had a few months ago that I just sold in our store, but we've gotten about 3 on this truckload, which is really nice. Some refrigerators though are not in perfect shape because again, these are returns from customers' houses. Usually they get rejected for any number of very small reasons. In odd circumstances, it's because there's a defect, but then sometimes they again do end up being used a little bit and you find things like a bag of ice in it, but hey, at least we know the fridge freezes now. And the nice thing about all these refrigerators is it gives me a lot of opportunities to do video reviews. So if you see any items that are on my floor that I haven't done a review of that you want me to show off, I plan on doing that. For example, this Hisense refrigerator is one that I've wanted to review for quite some time, but I didn't want to invest the money in it personally, and it just so happens that we got one of these on the truck that I'm going to be able to review. So in the case of this Hisense 17 cubic foot bottom mount freezer refrigerator, they go for about $850 now at Lowe's. I only paid $301 for it. Now it looks like someone has possibly used it and we need to modify just a little bit inside with the shelving. For $300, I know the wholesale of these brand new from Hisense runs about $550. So we are getting a huge margin on this for something that is essentially brand new. But not everything in here is absolutely in perfect good working shape. The last load that we had gotten from our supplier, New Appliance Wholesale, we did have 2 units that were defective that we had to end up scrapping out, pulling all the brand new parts off of, which we can sell on eBay for a good bit of money. But so far, most of these units that we got are testing good, except this one back here. Sadly enough, we paid about $1,000 for this refrigerator. This is a Frigidaire 4-door flex zone, and I don't know whether or not editing is going to take care of it, but this one has been beeping all day long. Yep, there you go. It's beeping all day long, so we're going to have to go into it and figure out what exactly is causing an issue with it. But if there's 1 unit out of 50 that are bad, it's not the worst deal in the world. So we've talked a ton about refrigerators so far. Let's start talking about washers, dryers, and stoves. We are testing a lot of these pieces, so let's cut to some more information on these where we've gone through and started testing them, as well as some of the other prices on the units that we just saw, so you know in full disclosure what everything really costs, because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what those numbers really are. The key to truckloads is that it's kind of hard sometimes to find a mix of good appliances. Each load is unique, and some could be almost entirely refrigerators, dryers, a mix, and so on. For example, in this $20,000 load, we got the following: 2 dishwashers, a combo washer dryer, 12 dryers, 3 stoves, 2 wine coolers, 17 refrigerators, 2 laundry centers, and 12 washers, a chest freezer, and a partridge in a pear tree for a total of 52 pieces. Having bought a few loads prior to this from the company, I thought it was a pretty good mix as we could have got, and if they pass inspection, we should make quite a bit of money. Going through all of them with quick tests, we are going to find some issues. For example, there's a Samsung dryer that was damaged and returned to the retailer, so there are some caveats to this style of customer returned appliance. Many of them do need tested, but some clearly were not even installed at all, like this specific Frigidaire refrigerator that looks to have everything inside. Getting to washers, there are some really nice finds on what we bought, but again, there are some caveats too, and I will get to the bad after showing off some of the good ones here. There's a Samsung washer-dryer combo. I just paid $2,200 for this a few months ago, and now there's one here that I only paid $950 for. So even buying returned appliances like this, you can find really, really new models and you don't have to think that they're going to only be lower end or cheaper or older models. I'm surprised someone got rid of this because the one I had was pretty nice. They must not have seen my review video on it. And I ended up selling the one that was in our video for about $1,700. So there's going to be some good profit in this one too. As I mentioned, there's about 12 washing machines in the load here, along with 3 laundry or combo units and 2 wine coolers. We have them over here because our washing test station is in a different area of our shop than our dryers and stoves. The price is what we paid for. It's quite low on a few of these, and as you can see, these units come and go on camera. The prices in most, if not all cases, are half of what retail actually goes for in big box stores. I know we tested the 3 Whirlpool top loaders. Every single one was flawless. This gives you a good idea on what you could expect on a load. There's even an LG top load washer that I'm going to review soon from Lowe's for $530. This one does actually have an issue though that we found on camera. Something is rusting in the tub, so it's a little bit weird. We're going to have to dig into this one and see what's wrong. So not everything is roses on this. Wine cooler here were actually new in box. I didn't film on camera. Maybe you saw it coming off the truckload time lapse, and they are true scratch and dent units. The biggest damage we had externally on anything here was this gray LG wash tower, which I was excited to get as I really like selling these, and we've had a few of them sold before, and people want reviews on them too. I'm hoping it's fixable without new parts and just needs adjusted. Usually we can profit between $500 and $700 on each of these wash towers. It's clear on the inside that it wasn't used. It was just returned to the store after something may have got wrong with it. At least that's what I think. One downside though on this truckload again is having to test most of the units before we can get our $20,000 back. But unlike refurbishing haul away units that are heavily used, these can mostly be tested in a much shorter period of time, a quick rinse and spin just to make sure everything's okay, and most of them come with the pack-in items to tell you that it never got installed. But another concern that we have since we test them is the warranty on the products. Well, every manufacturer has a different set of rules when it comes to warranting a product like this after it's been returned to the store. Some of the units you can see here have the warranty cards still on them unfilled, so they have the 1-year warranty still available on them, while others don't. Some may just have part warranties on them for non-cosmetic items, but not labor warranties. One thing that we did pay for on all these appliances is a third-party warranty through CPS, which is offered through the wholesaler we bought these off of. It cost me $15 per appliance, and any number I've given you in this video already included that $15 of the warranty in it. I can't tell you how good or bad the CPS warranty is for my customers because we've never had a single customer need to use a warranty claim on all the appliances we've sold in our store so far. So knock on wood, it's going to be a pretty good savings regardless because these units just work really well out in a customer's home. And I can't really say that for our used appliances or even the refurbished units that we mentioned earlier in the video, because once in a while we will have an issue with those. Going back to the fridges though, here's a list of all the ones that were behind me in order and the real costs I paid for each of them. So far, after 4 days of them being plugged in, they're all running and cooling properly, except that one Frigidaire we got to do a little bit more work on. I don't know if this is the best way of illustrating what they cost us and what we should get out of them, but oh well. These were all the fridges that we got in the truckload, along with a few that were so new that we ended up not having to test them. All these units have different conditions on the inside. Some are straight brand new again, and others, not so much, like this Midea and the Kenmore we talked about earlier. With customer returns, you have to take the good with the sloppy, and sometimes it's amazing how quickly a customer can ruin the inside of a refrigerator, but the cleanouts are nothing like used. In the end, I think that there's a pretty good strategy and business that can be done with new, or should I say gently used, appliances that are the latest model. You've seen how my business buys these, how we sell them, and what the margins could look like and what the units look like in your case. If you need any more information on that, I'm going to have some lists in the description to show you some of the different companies you can buy from outside of the ones that have been mentioned in this video. But the one that most of these have come from is New Appliance Wholesale. And if you go to their website and decide that you do want to try a load with them, make sure that you mention Ben's Appliances and Junk in the comment field. And my understanding is you'll get over $200 in savings per truckload. It's not a huge percentage, but every bit helps. It's essentially a free appliance. I hope this helped you out, and we will see you in the next video. I got a lot of appliances in the background to fix, test, and make videos on. Have a great day.